there's people on YouTube that watch them. Alright, so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Twazon or Mr. T. If saying my last name is too hard for you, I'm not going to respond to sir. I don't call you child unless you act like one. And then you're still going to call me Mr. T anyway. That's my name. My email is this. You'll get a lot of emails from me, so you don't need to memorize that off the top of your head. I like sneakers and cars. If you find or think of any questions that you'd like to ask me to get to know me during the lesson, that's fine. Nothing's out of bounds. At APHS, this isn't my rule, this is the school rules. If you are not already clear, you're expected to consistently check and read your emails every day. We're not allowed to use social media, so my main form of communication with you is through email. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, yes, Mr. T.
You're going to also check and read your DayMap lesson notes every day. DayMap's our online classroom system at this school. It allows us to communicate to our classes as a whole. You're my class now for maths and science and care group. It's where you're going to see what we're doing and what needs to be done. It's also where you submit work. Do all your teachers use Turnitin? I will use it. It scans for AI. It scans for plagiarism. I'll show you how to use AI to your advantage so that you don't get shafted, because it's really good technology that I didn't have access to. Okay. This is my subject that I'm teaching you for, Year 10 Maths. As Ignites, we're going to get through everything. The mainstreamers barely get through anything. That's why they get to Year 11. They can't do anything. Okay. So you're going to get through everything, and you also have specific Ignite assignments to prepare you better for the higher level stuff. Okay. This is the last year of generalized maths. What does generalized mean in general? Yeah?
I guess it's applied to most scenarios.
Yeah, so in this is the last year level of maths where you're going to do all possible topics, because it's meant to get you ready for if you're going to do high level maths, methods or specialist, mid-level maths, general, which is what I teach in year 11, year 12, or the low level of maths, essential. So what does that mean for you? You're going to find that you're going to have some really easy subjects, easy topics that'll help you push your grade up. And then there's going to be harder ones like the algebra or especially quadratics, but I'm going to teach you that. It should be easy for you. That's where people can struggle a little bit, but that might bring your grade down a little bit. But you can average it out with the easier stuff, okay? This is the last year that happens, because next year you're going to be choosing methods or spec, which is all hard stuff. You can't get away from it. So if it's all hard stuff, are you going to have a test where you can improve your grade by finding the average of something? No. Okay? General, if you're pretty good, but you don't want the stress of all that algebra and stuff, you probably choose that. And essential, if you're not the greatest at maths. Okay? These are all the topics. You don't have to worry. Do you guys know what DI stands for? So in maths, you have tests and you have assignments. So in higher levels, they're called DIs or directed investigations. It's sort of like you have a particular topic that you do an assignment on. Okay? You take steps through it. I'll help you with that. There's two kinds of students at this school. People have been taught by me and people have not, which is all of you. You people are going to get a reality check right now. So, a typical lesson has a very consistent format for me. I don't deviate much. I introduce what we're going to do with notes that I've written. The only time I'm not going to write the notes is if I'm away, and there'll be a YouTube video of me doing that teaching anyway. Okay? I'm not going to stand in front of you and do a PowerPoint presentation and then ask you to write that. That's so lazy. Okay? If I'm going to ask you to get notes down, I'm going to put the work in and write them for you as well. Can you see this? Okay? I can't force you to take the notes down. I can't force you to do homework. But when does the consequence happen when you don't do what I ask you to do? When does the consequence occur? Any idea? In the test. And I will just laugh at you, because I'll have on record exactly what I do. Okay? What do I do after that? We do a worked example, and then we practice. Are you good at anything outside of school? No, you're a bit harsh on yourself. Like, what about you?
With music, I'd like to think so.
Okay, how did you get good at that?
Practice.
Hey, The same works with maths. Why am I good at rowing? Why did I lose 45 kilos of weight from the start of this year? Because I row 2 hours every day, 3:15. It's practice. You're not just good at something straight away. You need to practice. And I'm going to show you how to do the thing so you can practice effectively, yeah? All of my math subjects follow a timeline. You'll see it attached to DayMap already. This is what they look like. This is yours for next year. So if any of you are sweats, you could literally like go ahead. I'm not asking you to do everything. Is that all the letters of the alphabet? No, it skips half of them. What I'm asking you to do is do enough practice that I think is gonna, what do young people say? They say get good, okay? Do enough that you get good. Because are you gonna be good if you can only do one? Okay? See how it's all very logical how it works? So this is already there. And if you're away, so if you're ever away from a lesson, my timelines have a link button on them that links to a lesson video I've made. If you're away for a particular lesson, or if it went too fast, you need a second go at it, you click that video, you watch me teach it to you. This means you have no excuse to be behind if you're away. Catch it up yourself. Trains don't come to pick you back up if you're late, do they? Do they? No? Your lessons will always have a lesson note stating the day and the date of the lesson, what was done that lesson, and what homework is that lesson. This tells you what we actually got up to each day. So the timeline here, this is where the absolute bare minimum where we should be up to each week. But what we actually do in lesson, do you know why there would be a difference between this? Do we have public holidays sometimes? Do we have like stuff like assemblies that might stuff up my rotation, my plans? See, so this is what we plan to do. But in lessons, you guys are really nice. We tend to get faster, okay? Because you're not plebs like the mainstreamers, yeah? So this is the absolute minimum, okay? Your lessons will always have a day map note, so you're already looking at that. Does it say the day? Does it say the date? Does it say what subject it is?
Yeah.
Does it say we've got an assembly at 10:10?
Yeah.
So you're not going to have a full lesson of practice. I'm going to mainly be talking here because I'm introducing myself. Can you see what I'm doing? Am I doing that?
Yes.
I'm going to give you some of you are all salty because you got a test to do. Deal with it. I'm going to teach you the index laws my way, and then you're not going to have time to do the practice that we would do. What I'm demonstrating is how a lesson would work with me. What you're going to miss out on is the practice today, okay? But you can all have a cry about having me as your teacher over the holidays. Why do I do all of this? Because that was a lot of work, making those videos. I've got like 2 weeks solid of actual just videos of me teaching on YouTube. Why do I do that? Because if I've done all of that, you have no excuse to not know what we are doing. Is that a fair statement? Because where does it say? On DayMap? It says on the timeline, and I just say it to your face. Number 2, your parents will have no excuse because every Saturday at around 8:30, I email them and you what we did during the week, and that's where you should be up to. So they're not going to have an excuse either. And then if you claim to not know what you're going to do, who looks bad? Do I look bad? Who looks bad? You. I don't have many classroom rules. You're following them quite well. Don't talk while I'm teaching. I only teach for the first 10 or 15 minutes. You can hold it, okay? No one's here to listen to you teach them maths that you don't know. I know it, okay? Number 2, don't negatively impact others. If you're going to be mid or below, don't bring everyone else down with you. And 3, submit my deadlines. This is the big one. This is the reality check most students have. Have you started getting mixed classes yet with the mainstreamers?
Yes.
You have? Do they hand up on time?
No.
Is that fair on you? Could you have gotten a better grade if you had the extra bloody month or week? Huh? Yes. That's how I treat, and that's how I treat my my seniors as well. Assignments of mine are always due by midnight on Friday of the week they're due. This will be on the task itself and on DayMap, and you will get email reminders. I'm not weak on this. Please ask your classmates you don't have any classmates. Please ask if you've got siblings or seniors that you know, ask them what happens if you miss a deadline in my class with no medical. If you have a legitimate reason, we're cool. But if it's just because you were lazy or you didn't know what we were doing, which is silly, you deal with it, okay? I mark your work very quickly. You've never had me before, so you don't have proof of that. But most tests, you'll know what you got on the day or the day after. It doesn't. Why would a test ever take very long to mark? Why? Explain to me. Shouldn't I know the answers already? All right? Assignments will take a little longer. Okay? Also, when you draft, I will give you detailed feedback if you get it to me on time. I'm not going to waste my personal time on a different week. I'm going to plan to mark your stuff on a specific weekend, right? I've got a family now. So I'm going to mark your stuff on a weekend. If you don't bother handing it up on time, am I supposed to use a different weekend to mark your work? Are you paying me for that? No. That's why I'm strong on that. Just take the, you're not paying me overtime, right? So overall, hopefully you're sorting it out. You're probably scared of me right now, and that's cool. I want you to be. Overall, I'm about accountability. If you and your parents are going to hold me accountable to teach you well, then I'm going to hold you accountable too for handing stuff up on time and knowing what we're supposed to do. I'm strict on deadlines because it's not fair on the people who do hand up on time if you get extra time to just bumble around and not do anything. Okay? So now, you've got an index laws test. Can you get some a piece of paper to... No. I've got paper for you. Can you get something to write with, please?